Chanakya once said, "The world does not respect the weak. It only negotiates with power. If people constantly underestimate you, ignore you, speak over you, dismiss your ideas, it is not an accident. It is a signal." In America, confidence is currency, perception is power, and respect is rarely given, it is taken. Chanakya, also known as Kautilya, was not a motivational speaker. He was a strategist, a kingmaker, a man who built empires by understanding one brutal truth. People treat you according to the image you project, not the potential you hide. If the world sees you as harmless, it will use you. If it sees you as uncertain, it will control you. If it sees you as desperate, it will ignore you. Tonight you are going to learn why people take you lightly. And more importantly, how to reverse it. Not with noise, not with anger, but with strategy. Because being underestimated is not a weakness. In the hands of a strategist, it is a weapon. Chapter 1. Why People Sense Weakness. Before you speak, Chanakya observed something most people never realize. Before you speak, before you act, before you even introduce yourself, people have already judged you. In America, perception moves faster than truth. The moment you walk into a room, your posture speaks, your eye contact speaks, your pace speaks, even your silence speaks. And if your body says, "I seek approval," the world hears, "I lack power." Chanakya taught that weakness is not about physical strength. It is about psychological positioning. The person who looks unsure invites control. The person who over-explains invites doubt. The person who laughs nervously invites disrespect. You think people take you lightly because they are arrogant. No. They take you lightly because you unconsciously signal that it is safe to do so. Look carefully at powerful people in corporate America. They do not rush their words. They do not beg for validation. They do not try to prove themselves every second. Their power comes from internal certainty. Chanakya believed that certainty is contagious. When you are certain, others hesitate to challenge you. When you hesitate, others become certain about dominating you. Most people make one critical mistake. They try to be liked before they are respected. But Chanakya warned that respect must come first. If you enter every interaction trying to impress, you communicate lower status. If you enter calmly, observing, evaluating, you communicate strength. Weakness is loud. Power is measured. Think about this. When someone interrupts you and you immediately adjust your tone, when someone questions you and you instantly defend, when someone ignores your message and you double text, you are training them how to treat you. Chanakya's strategy was simple but brutal. Never reveal the full extent of your thoughts. Never rush to react. Never show emotional hunger. Because the moment people sense emotional dependence, they downgrade your value. In modern America, attention is power. Time is power. Emotional control is power. The person who controls their reactions controls the dynamic. So if people take you lightly, do not blame them first. Ask yourself, do I speak to fill silence? Do I oversmile to reduce tension? Do I explain myself too quickly? Because power does not beg to be understood. It allows others to figure it out. Chanakya did not demand respect. He engineered it. And if you want the world to stop underestimating you, the first battlefield is not outside, it is within. Chapter 2. Why being underestimated is a hidden advantage. Chanakya never feared being underestimated. He used it. Most people in America panic when they are ignored. They feel insulted when others don't take them seriously. They rush to prove themselves. But Chanakya understood a dangerous truth. When people underestimate you, they lower their guard. And when the guard drops, opportunity rises. Think about it. The loudest person in the room attracts attention, but also resistance. The aggressive competitor attracts awareness, but also opposition. But the underestimated person, he moves unseen. Chanakya built empires not by shouting power, but by studying quietly while others celebrated too early. In corporate America, the person who brags about their skills becomes a target. The one who silently improves becomes a threat. If people think you are weak, they reveal more. If they think you are harmless, they speak freely. If they think you are behind, they relax. And relaxed opponents make mistakes. Chanakya called this strategic invisibility. He believed that power grows best in silence. While others compete for validation, you collect information. While others fight for attention, you build leverage. The modern world worships visibility. Social media teaches you to constantly show, prove, display. But Chanakya's philosophy was different. He believed in delayed revelation. If people cannot measure you, they cannot predict you. And if they cannot predict you, they cannot control you. Being underestimated gives you 3 advantages. First, freedom. No one monitors you closely. No one feels threatened by you. Second, intelligence. People show their real intentions around those they don't fear. Third, surprise. When you finally act, the impact multiplies. History proves this again and again. The most dangerous competitor is not the loud one. It is the quiet one preparing. So instead of asking, "Why don't they respect me?" ask something smarter. What can I build while they ignore me? Chanakya did not waste energy correcting every insult. He invested energy in strengthening his position. Because real power does not react to disrespect. It upgrades itself silently. When the moment is right, when the timing is perfect, when preparation meets opportunity, the underestimated man shocks the room. And nothing is more powerful than a silent person who suddenly cannot be ignored. So if today people overlook you, smile. You are not losing. You are loading. Chapter 3. The psychological signals that command instant respect. Chanakya understood something that modern psychology is only now rediscovering. Respect is not requested. It is triggered. In every social interaction, people scan for signals. Not your intentions, not your potential. Signals. The way you stand, the way you pause, the way you respond under pressure. In America, status is often invisible, but deeply felt. And the difference between being respected and being ignored often comes down to subtle psychological cues. The first signal is controlled silence. Weakness rushes to fill gaps. Power allows space. When someone challenges you and you immediately defend yourself, you communicate insecurity. When someone challenges you and you pause, look at them calmly, and respond slowly, you communicate authority. Chanakya rarely reacted emotionally in public. He calculated. Because emotional reactions give others leverage. The second signal is selective speech. Powerful individuals do not explain everything. They speak in clear, decisive sentences. Over-explaining is a hidden form of seeking approval. In corporate boardrooms across America, the person who speaks less but with precision often carries more weight than the one who speaks constantly. Why? Because scarcity increases value. If your words are frequent and desperate, they lose impact. If your words are measured and intentional, they carry force. The third signal is emotional non-attachment. Chanakya warned that the person who needs validation can be controlled. If someone ignores you, and you immediately chase, you lower your position. If someone criticizes you and you visibly crumble, you invite more attacks. But when your emotional state does not fluctuate based on others' behavior, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability creates psychological dominance. The fourth signal is posture and pace. Rushed movement signals anxiety. Calm, steady movement signals control. In American culture, confidence is often mistaken for loudness, but true confidence is stable. It does not shake when questioned. It does not shrink when opposed. Chanakya believed that before conquering kingdoms, you must conquer your reactions. Because people test you. They interrupt you to see if you fold. They joke at your expense to see if you laugh nervously. They delay responses to see if you chase. Every interaction is a subtle negotiation of status, and the person who remains centered usually wins. If you want instant respect, stop trying to appear impressive. Appear unbothered, unbothered by approval, unbothered by criticism, unbothered by minor disrespect. When people sense that your internal state is not controlled by them, they adjust. Chanakya did not demand to be taken seriously. He made it costly not to. And when your presence feels grounded, controlled, and deliberate, respect stops being optional. It becomes automatic. Chapter 4. Engineer your rise. So no one can ignore you again. Chanakya did not believe in revenge. He believed in elevation. If someone disrespects you, the immature mind seeks confrontation, but the strategic mind seeks ascension. In America, status is fluid. Today you are overlooked. Tomorrow you can be indispensable. The question is not whether people respect you now. The question is whether you are building something that will force them to. Chanakya's philosophy was simple. Increase your value so dramatically that ignoring you becomes expensive. Power does not beg for recognition. It creates dependency. In modern terms, skills are leverage. If your expertise is rare, if your results are undeniable, if your competence solves real problems, people adjust their behavior automatically. Respect follows usefulness. So instead of chasing validation, build capability. Instead of arguing your worth, increase your impact. Chanakya rose from humiliation to influence not by complaining, but by mastering strategy. He studied economics. He understood politics. He mastered timing. While others reacted emotionally, he built systems, and systems create sustainable power. If you want the world to stop underestimating you, you need 3 moves. First, skill expansion. Choose a domain. Master it beyond average. Become the person others consult. Second, controlled visibility. Do not show everything too early. Reveal progress strategically. Let results speak louder than promises. Third, strategic detachment. Do not tie your identity to temporary opinions. People's perception today is not your permanent reality. In competitive American culture, visibility without substance fades, but substance with patience dominates. Understand this clearly. The world respects outcomes. If you consistently produce results, deliver value, solve problems, stay emotionally steady, you will shift the power dynamic. And one day, the same people who overlooked you will introduce you differently, not because you argued, but because you evolved. Chanakya never wasted energy proving himself to everyone. He focused on positioning himself so effectively that history had no choice but to remember him. So do not chase attention. Build strength. Do not chase approval. Build leverage. Do not chase respect. Build power. And when your rise is engineered properly, underestimation turns into admiration. Silence turns into presence. And the person they once ignored becomes the one they cannot ignore anymore.